The Forgotten Village, where the dead walk. In the remote forests of Romania, hidden deep within the Carpathian Mountains, lay a village lost to time. Locals called it Văduva Uitată, the Forgotten Widow. It was a place shrouded in mystery, where no one dared to tread. Travelers who ventured near often spoke of eerie shadows moving in the fog and whispered voices calling from the trees. Catherine, a seasoned archaeologist with a penchant for unraveling legends, stumbled upon an old map marking the village. Intrigued, she set out on an expedition with her assistant Daniel, despite warnings from locals who refused to speak of the place. "The dead walk there," one elderly innkeeper muttered. "Leave it alone." The journey was arduous, with dense forests and craggy terrain. After 2 days of travel, they finally reached Văduva Uitată. The village was eerily still, its wooden houses decayed and overrun by moss. A church stood at the center, its bell tower leaning precariously as though bowing to some unseen force. Exploring the village, Catherine and Daniel found signs of a hurried departure, half-eaten meals on tables, tools abandoned mid-use, yet no bodies. It was as if the villagers had vanished overnight. In the church, Catherine discovered a diary belonging to the priest, Father Iancu. The entries spoke of a plague that had ravaged the village centuries ago, leaving its dead restless. Desperate, Father Iancu had performed a forbidden ritual to save his flock. But the ritual backfired. Instead of saving the living, it bound the dead to the village, trapping their souls in limbo. "The dead walk among us now," the final entry read, "and they are not at peace." As night fell, the village transformed. Fog rolled in thick, and a chilling wind swept through the streets. Catherine and Daniel heard soft footsteps outside their cabin. Peering through a crack in the window, they saw figures emerging from the mist, pale, translucent, and glowing faintly under the moonlight. Their movements were slow, their eyes empty, yet filled with sorrow. Terrified but curious, Catherine stepped outside, clutching Father Iancu's diary. The figures didn't attack. Instead, they stared at her, their whispers filling the air. "Free us. End this curse." Following the diary's instructions, Catherine and Daniel gathered ingredients for a purification ritual. They worked tirelessly, even as the dead circled them, their whispers growing louder. At the church altar, Catherine lit the ceremonial fire and began chanting the incantation. The ground trembled, and the dead let out mournful cries, their translucent forms beginning to dissipate. As the ritual reached its climax, a blinding light erupted, consuming the village. When it faded, the dead were gone, and the village was silent once more. Catherine and Daniel left Văduva Uitată at dawn, the once cursed village, now at peace. But as they reached the forest's edge, Catherine glanced back and saw a shadow in the church window. A faint, sorrowful figure. Though the dead were freed, the village would never truly be forgotten.